Joey Lombardi.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, should have heard Rich.
Look at this bunch. So this is my second time doing stand-up. So I'm really nervous. So please don't record it if you were going to, because I'm so nervous. I'm afraid I might say the N-word. So I don't need that on my rap. But no, I'm just kidding. I don't see color. I really don't. Growing up, I have a sister. She's about 6 years older than me, who's half black. We have the same mom, but I know what you're thinking, half black sister, same mom. She likes black guys. But my mom's not fat, okay? So, she's not. She's not. But not all stereotypes are true. But so one day, my sister said to me, "Your dad's here to pick you up," and I was really confused. And my face probably showed it how confused I was. I looked at her and I said, "Well, isn't he your dad too?" And she looked at me like I was an idiot, and she goes, "I'm black, you idiot," And I'm like, okay. Well, so that's why, since I was a kid, I grew up, I don't see color, But I'd be lying to you if I said I couldn't hear it. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. Am I lying? Call any customer service department, Be like, "Hello, thank you for calling Optimum. How can I?" You're not like, "Steve, is that you, buddy?" You know exactly where, like, geographically where that guy's from. Am I wrong? Maybe. Pakistan. So, we can get a pretty good description about, like, with our ears of what somebody looks like, I think. Our ears are more dependable than our eyes, most of the time. So, let's see, where are we at here? Now, smokers are an exception. Am I right? Like on the phone, especially on the phone, it's hard to like decipher a smoker. "Thank you for calling Chili's. Can I take your order?" You're like, "Yes, sir." I would like, "It's ma'am." You're like, I just hang up. Because at that point, whatever you're getting ain't gonna be good. It's gonna be destroyed. Whatever that is. But we do know, 99% of the time, that person's white. Because white people are the only people that I know that destroy themselves by smoking. How many black people do you know with a stoma? I haven't seen any ads, I mean, it's like, only white people destroy themselves with cigarettes and nicotine. You see the ads, you don't see, it's just like all the white lady, like, with her face falling off and, like, the thing in her throat. You know what I mean? It's like, only white people do that. So I don't see color. I don't judge a book by its cover. I judge it by its audible description. We got any vapors in here? Who vapes? Anybody vape? One or two, couple? I bet you still live at home with your parents, playing Fortnite, eating Hot Pockets. You know what I mean? Like, "Ma, give me some Hot Pockets." You know that sound it makes? It's like, It's like, "I'm on the next chapter. I gotta get some skins for the guys. I don't got time. Give me some Hot Pockets in here." If I gotta walk through another cloud smoke of cotton candy or vape smoke, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'd rather walk through crack smoke, than vape smoke. You know what I mean? But for some reason, crack smoke, it just makes me feel, I don't know, feel good. There's something about it. It's like nostalgic for some reason. Like whenever I smell it, I'm like, I say to my sister, "I think your dad's here to pick you up." Just kidding. But I just rather you smoke. I'd rather smell cigarette smoke, rather than this other stuff. Growing up, my parents they smoked wherever they wanted. It felt like, it seemed like they would smoke in the car, windows up. They'd smoke in the house, no ventilation. Any place where they wanted to, they would just smoke, I remember stopping at the store. My mom would leave us in the car and leave a lit cigarette in the ashtray. Those ashtrays of metal things that came out, filled with cigarette butts. Wouldn't even toss them. They worried more about not littering than giving you secondhand smoke. You know what I mean? You couldn't even put one in it. Just piled up. Falling everywhere, all over the floor. But she would leave a lit cigarette in the ashtray when she'd go in the store to buy more cigarettes, and I would take a couple hits from it. As a kid. And she knew every time when I would do that. She knew every single time I would take some hits from her cigarette. Maybe it was from the ash. That was disturbed, because she would let that ash, get like this long before she would tap it, Or maybe it was from the pile of throw up that was on the floorboard from me coughing up my lungs before she got back in. I don't know. Maybe that was it. So going to school, the car, like I said, they roll up the windows, no ventilation. It's like an aging chamber, you know what I mean? So the 15-minute ride to school, by the time I got there, I'd get out, I'd look like Benjamin Button, trying to get out of the car. My eyes all bloodshot, sounded like the Chili's lady, Can't see, my skin's all saggy. Half the time, they wouldn't let me in the door, because they didn't recognize me or know who I was, The other half, they brought me in as a substitute teacher. They were short somebody, and whether they knew or not, they needed a body, so they put me there, I got my tenure before I graduated 8th grade, They couldn't get rid of me at that point. You know what I mean? Let's see. So, I'm married. Okay, my wife is here. There she is in the back. She's beautiful. That's right. I know what you vapors are thinking. You're like, man, how come I can't find a woman like that, dude? I need a babe, dude. How come I can't find a babe like that? It's not fair, dude. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why you don't have a woman like that. So let's just say you happen to bring a woman home, from GameStop somewhere, I'm assuming. So you get her home and you convince her that your mom lives with you, right? That's why there's pictures of you on the wall growing up, That explains the lipstick on the smoldering cigarettes in the ashtray on the coffee table with Days of Our Lives playing. That's how you get past that point. So you get to the room, right? And you open the door real quick. You give the bed a quick little flip. Give the blanket a flip to get the tissues off the bed. You know what I mean? Get the monitor, shut the monitor off real quick. You weren't expecting company. So get her in there. Clean it up a little bit. There's only 2 places to sit, right? You're not going to give her the $600 gaming chair you just bought, right? That's erroneous. So you give her the Big Joe beanbag chair, So it's, you didn't have a plan up until this point, right? You didn't know you were going to get this far because you never have, right? So it's a little awkward sitting there, like, just awkward silence for a little bit. Then you're like, hey, you want a hot pocket or something? Yeah. Mom, 2 pockets, hot, stat, 2 hot pockets. That's why I don't have a wife, by the way. That's where that was going. That's why you're lonely. It's the vape. That's what it is. So my wife, she helps me write some jokes. She helps me with develop some of these. I get a premise, and most of the time it's like, don't you dare say that in public. And most of the time I do, but that's why we're married, But we have 7 kids together, She birthed 7 of my children. So she doesn't like me saying the word retarded. Like, she says it's wrong, in any context, which I can agree, but she loves a sex trafficking joke. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? She, especially having all these kids, she can go for a good sex trafficking joke. You know, I don't get it. Maybe opposites attract, but you know, I don't know what it is. But you know, speaking of sex trafficking, there's got to be like a cutoff. What do you think? Like an age cutoff for human traffickers? You know, thinking about it. You know, it's like maybe by the time a woman's like in her mid-30s, you know, she's probably safe to walk through the Walmart parking lot at night. You know. But even then, when a woman thinks that they're becoming less desirable, even to a sex trafficker, they just get upset. You know, it's like offensive to them. You know, so you know, but from behind, maybe they could be sex trafficked. You know, so like the sex traffic guy, whoever's in charge of abducting these women, might make a mistake sometimes and be like, "There's the one." And he's creeping up on her in the parking lot, you know, and he's like, "Hey, excuse me, miss, you need help with your bags?" And she's like, "Ah!" And he's like, "Oh, my mistake, thought you were someone else." And she's like, "What? I'm pretty. I'm still pretty. Take me. Take me." And he's like, "It's about profits, you know what I mean? It's about the bottom line, and we just don't think that you'll make quota, you know, for what we need." And she's like, "Please, just take me." You know, she's pleading with this guy. And she feels bad, you know, he's starting to feel bad for her. You know, he's starting to like sympathize with this woman, you know? And he's like, "You know, maybe about 15 years ago, you'd be on a shipping container right now to Albania, okay? But right now, it's just not your time." So that's it. That's my time. Thank you.